Hi everyone, this is Tracy from We Craft at Home, and today I wanted to show you how to make the triple cube pop-up. So thanks for joining me. It is this simple. This is the main parts to it. So this is the main part and these are the cube parts, and then these are just the mats. So I've coloured them so that you can see them a bit clearer. So I'm just going to delete that, and I'll show you how to get started. Let me just say quickly, I've put one layer for the cube down here just to show you, but you can do 2, 3 or 4 of these. Now I've already, because I always practice first, so I've already made one that's got 3. Today I'm going to make one with 2 sides, and then you can decide however many layers you want of this one. This is one you need, so it's kind of the centerpiece if you like, and it'll all make sense when we're over at the craft table. Okay, so you've got to decide which sides you want to make this. We're going to need a rectangle first of all. I want it on the X and Y zeros because we've got specific places to put the scores. And then we're going to make sure you've unticked your maintain aspect ratio, and the width is 11.5 that we want. So that's 11.5, and the height we're going to stick to 6. We'll do it at 5 3/4 so you can fit it into a normal envelope. And now we're going to just do the score lines. Now I've done the panels, so every panel is 2 3/4 inches. I prefer working in inches, so you need to click on the path tool over here and then get as close as you can. So I know that's 1, 2, so that's 3 inches, so we're going to be about there, I reckon. Click, hold shift so it goes straight down, and then double click. Oh, look at that, 277. So I just need to go back 2 points so that I'm at 275. And for some reason my Y didn't start at the top. And then we're going to change it to, for me it's always the 3rd score line down. It's the one that is least likely to damage the card when we're scoring. And then once you've done that, if you duplicate it, so 275 and 275, the next one we need is 5.5. There we go. Duplicate again, and the next one is 8 3/4. No, 8 1/4, I do apologise. So I'm looking at the X's and Y's over here while I'm doing that. And then we've got one more at 11. So layer duplicate, and that one is at 11. See, I've gone just over, so I'm using my arrows and just going down a bit. So that is the first bit. That is most of it. What we're going to do now though, rather than cutting them off, well, you can cut them off yourself at the end, but I am just going to group all the score lines so that they don't move. Okay, so I'm going to, when you want to bring up the nodes, you click, hold a second and click again. Do not double click straight away now, because there's other stuff on. You have to click a 3rd time. Now they're up. But what I want, no, I want this line along here because I want to add a node. But it's in the wrong place, so I'm going to click on it so that it knows that's the one I want, and I'm going to use my arrows just because it will keep it on the right line. going too slow. As you can see, it makes the line drop if you don't stick to the right. So there we go. I want it here on the score line, and then I want another one along here. So you just click add and it adds an extra point, and again you want to go to the score line. You just got to be careful that you don't move the line too much. Okay, and then what we're going to do, like I said, you don't have to do this. We're just going to bring each outside point down a little bit because it's a tab, and we just want a little bit nicked off the end. There we go. And that is that one done. So now we want to duplicate that, bring it down, and the only thing we need to change to make the cube is to do the height at the same as the width. So it's 2 3/4, 275. And then this bit's already done. The scores are already lined up. Everything is done. So then all now we need to do is the mats. Now we know this is 275, so now we can maintain aspect ratio and turn that 1/4 of an inch down, which is 2.5. So 2.5 on all sides, and that's your first mat. And then you can duplicate it. You can use the offset if it's easier for you, but because we already know the sizes, we go another 1/4 of an inch down, which is 2.25, and there are our mats. And for this one, we'll actually get a rectangle. I think that might be a bit easier. Turn it 90 degrees every time. And then we know this size is 5.5, and untick maintain aspect ratio, because then we want that at 2.5. And there is the mat. And then if you duplicate that and just take it down, you can now maintain aspect ratio and just take it down 1/4 there. So 5.25, and there's your other mat. Oh no, we need that one. Okay, I was wrong there. So it's exactly like this is. So then you just decide, obviously colours, and you decide if you want to do 2, 3 or 4 cubes. Like I said, I've done a 3 one, and today I'm doing a 2 one, and I'm doing a man's one today as well, because I know that you all really like to have the men's cards. But that is the basics of it. So now you've got to decide how you want to decorate it. I am doing this kit because I just love this kit. I've got so much of it now that it's definitely one of my favourites. So it's Gentleman Rules, I think it's called, and you get all sorts in there. So you get the man leaning, and you can either have him with a lamppost, with a phone box, with a car, or just on his own so that you can lean him up against a wall, or whatever you like. And then this man walking forward like this, I thought that would look nice with the car in the background, like he's walking away from the car. And then you've got nice bits to decorate it with. They're small because obviously we've only got 2.5 inch squares to fit it into, so I've had to make sure that they all fit in like that. But that's the set I'm going to use, and I'm going to use some craft card and things like that. Yeah, so that's all of it. As always, if you don't want to learn how to do it yourself and you just want the file, then you can go to my Facebook group page and download it for free. As always, free to use. Okay, well, I will see you over at the craft desk. Okay, so I'm over at the craft table. I've got all my bits cut out. I've put the layers on already so that we're all done. Also on this part can you see? Yeah, I had like an Argyle style embossing folder and I've put it all on the inside. The only thing I'm going to say, which thankfully I realised here, is now when I stick this on, you're going to see it on the inside. So what I should have done is waited to stick the last one on. I mean, it's not going to come off now. So I kind of ruined it on there. So on here I've left the last one off before I stick them together. But I've put them all on the inside because that's what I wanted on the inside. So putting it together, like I said, I've only got 2. But you can do 3 or 4 cubes. So the next thing to do is to fold the first main panel over. It's the best way to stick it together. And just fold this one over onto it. Make sure the glue's got in there, and you want to do that for the cubes as well. Okay, and then with the 2 cubes, you've got your 2 extra that you need to stick on now. What you really could have done with this is gone over it in some gilding wax, but I wanted to keep mine kind of plain and simple because it's only the inside. I wanted a bit of character on it, that's why I'd done the embossing folder, but then I just thought, I don't want to do anything else to it, so now it's like that, see? And then the that's the one I've just put on, so the hinge is actually hidden now, which is obviously the better way to do it. So I'll just do this one. Okay, so that's the 2 cubes, and then this will be the oh, I think you're stuck. This will be the main one standing in the middle. So the next thing to do would be to attach these to the 2 sides turn it round so you can see. One there and one there, like that. So that's doing two. That's how you do it. And my advice is, now I can't find it, where you've stuck it together. My goodness. So where you've put it together, I would put it on the bottom, like that. So, and obviously I always use wet glue, but if you prefer to use tape, that will work just as well. So find where it's attached and it's going on the bottom. And I'm just going to lay that down, and then I'm going to do that, because I think that will stick a lot better. Do the same with this one. So I'm going to lay it down so that the bottom edge, I can line up with the bottom edge of that, like that. Make sure they're all straight, which I think that one needs to come over a little bit. There we go. And you can see that's how it's going to go flat. And then when you bounce it up, it'll be like that. So now we're just going to add all the panels. So on the back, you're going to have your sentiment. So I've just, I printed one out on Microsoft Studio, and this little picture comes with the rest of the kit that I'm using. So I just added that onto the top. It's that Gentleman Rules from Design Bundles, because I just love it. I will stop using it soon, but it's just excellent, that's all. Just make sure I've got it the right way round. So that's your insert page. And then I've done an extra long one. But like I said, you could just do another cube or another 2 cubes and do your sentiment on a short square. And now I'll just add all of these. Just to explain what I've done here, I shouldn't have put any there because that's the bottom. We don't need any on the bottom. So now when we open it up, you can see where they all are, and you can see it coming together now. So they are the main parts, and now it's sticking all the decoration on. So on the back of this, I've got this young man on a lamppost. Can you see? And I put the, you know, the new Pinflair Glossit? I tried that out on this, and so it's got, the lamppost is shiny. So I'm just going to put that there, and I'm going to stick it straight flat, although I don't know if I'm going to do that with all of it. If you don't want too much bulk, in your envelope, because obviously that's the idea of these folding flat cards, then you would stick it straight down. But I'm just not sure. So there's loads of bits and pieces I've cut out. So there's a pocket watch there, and I've also glossed that. I'm sure you can see that quite clearly. So I wanted that, and I think that would be nice flat actually. Okay, so at the moment this is what we've got. So you've got toppers everywhere, and then if you turn it to the back, you got that man on the lamppost and your insert. It's just a nice different card. Now I was hoping, I'd done this car and I glossed the windows on that as well. I was hoping I could do it in the middle. And then, yes, I think it will work. So if you want to stick something so that it pops out in the middle, the best way to do that is to get yourself a piece of card, not too just going to try and find a spare bit. You don't want it too thick, and you certainly don't want it too long. So I need to cut this a little bit. And then what we're going to do, I'm even doing this roughly, I don't mind. So there we go. So I've folded it so that there's a bit at the front, and then if you fold these two back again like that, I hope you saw that all right. Oh, so you got that sort of shape. Okay, and what we're going to do, we're first off going to stick this. I've used the same coloured card as the toppers inside so that it doesn't look wrong, and we're going to stick it so that each tab is either side of the fold. I know that sounds a bit tricky, but once you get it, I need it a bit lower down because the car is quite big. Now I'm just going to check on it. There we go. I'll just show you so you can get an idea. So from there, can you see how it's going to stand out? And then if I show you from the front, looking down, so that each of the extra little tabs are going to go either side. And then what we're going to do is just do a little glue on that strip, and then it's easier to go through this way and stick whatever topper you want onto that strip. Flatten it down so that you know it's going to flatten. And then when you open it, it pops out, and there you go. So it's just sitting there in the middle. And then what I'm going to do, I've got to find it. I did do this one because I was originally going to do that in the middle, but I preferred the car. So I've done the car in the middle. I'm just going to get a tiny little happy birthday sentiment and stick it on the front of the car. And then that is that card done. So really easy to do, but really, really effective. And then it all folds flat for postage. So yeah, I think that's a really easy thing to do. So that's the 2. I've done a female version with 3. I didn't put any toppers on, I just left it as decorated papers. Still have to do the sentiment, and on these you could do 2 little pop-ups in the middle, can't you? I just left it as mirror card in the middle. And that's that one done. So that's a 3, and then you've still got the space at the back to do your sentiment. And what did I use on these? I used Paper Boutique papers. It was Spring, I think it was called. And then this. The blue card is Tonic Craft Perfect. Let me get the colour. Navy Dazzle pearlescent card, which I think has worked out really lovely. So that's the cube card, 2, 3, or like I said, 4. Anyhow you like. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.